everyone, it's Jack here from Pentagon Solutions. Today we're going to be looking at a short video. It's just over 10 minutes long. It's a good video for anyone getting started in Revit, and it looks at some of the fundamentals such as creating walls, floors, roofs and windows and doors. I hope you guys find this really informative. The Revit home window is very intuitive. We can quickly go in and open existing Revit files and also create new Revit projects very quickly. Again, the same process applies for Revit families, which we can use in our projects. Recent models can be seen and accessed quickly through the Revit files display on the Revit home window. Selecting the Autodesk Docs icon will allow you to browse cloud-based models anywhere as long as you have a good Wi-Fi connection. Utilising the online help and community support features can be invaluable tools in building your knowledge and confidence with the software, which can be easily found at the bottom left-hand side corner of the Revit home window. Selecting the search icon on the Revit home window will open up a large resource of invaluable information. This can be used to aid any problems you may have with Revit. I'm just going to get started here by opening a new Revit project. We can go down, and in the drop down here we can select the template that we wish to choose for the project. In this case here I'm going to use the architectural template and just select OK when I'm happy with that. The Quick Access toolbar can be found at the top of the Revit screen. This toolbar contains commonly used commands such as open, home, save, undo and redo, as well as the print command. You can quickly customize the Quick Access toolbar to suit your own needs through right-clicking on the drop-down arrow at the end of the Quick Access toolbar. A really important tab here in Revit is probably the File tab. I'm just going to select that. You'll see that it gives us access to recent documents and file commands. And if I hover over some of these different commands here, you'll see that different options within the commands appear. This is a really useful tab that you'll be using a lot when using Revit. So take your time and just get familiar with the different options in there. A really important feature here in Revit is the ribbon, and you'll see that we have different tabs in the series that we can select that changes the ribbon. And in the ribbon there's different grips that are referred to as windows. So we've got a build window with different architectural build tools that we can select. So I'm just going to get started here, and I'm going to model the walls of my house. So the first thing I want to check is my different levels, and the best place to check this is in my elevations, which you'll see in your project browser. I'm just going to click on the north elevation here, and if I double click, left click on it, it will take me into it. And you'll see that we've got level 1, a level 0 and a foundation level set up, and you'll see the height of which these levels are at underneath the actual level name. What we can do is we can actually turn the datums on at different sides, and we can turn on an elbow there if we want. Again, we can drag, if I just get into that dot there, we can drag them back to turn those elbows off. I'm happy enough with the levels we've got set up, so I'm just going to jump back to level 0 here, just in my project browser. So another really powerful feature about Revit is that we can actually have multiple views open at the same time. So we could be modeling something in level 0 here, but seeing it as well in our 3D view. So I'm going to go across up to the View tab here and just open a 3D view. And if I left click and drag this, we can then have the 3D view sort of open as well in the window. And I'm just going to right click and select zoom to fit, and it will tidy everything up, and the same with my level 0. So if we go up to our architecture tab here, and you'll see that there's walls. Hover over it, says WA, so I'm going to type in WA and see what happens. There's a shortcut for opening walls. So you'll see in our properties palette here that we've got our different wall types. We can go down. These are pre-made, but again, you can duplicate these and then change the structure on them to create your own bespoke wall types. But I'm just going to select a pre-made one here. This one here with 102 millimeters of blockwork, 75 millimeters of insulation, 100 mils of blockwork. Go for that, and we will draw a wall. Probably 13 meters is not a bad idea. Again, if your wall's off at an angle, I'll just go back, WA, draw my wall, save my walls at an angle. If I hold down shift, it'll lock it to a right angle, which is a handy tool. We can then type in the value here, 13 meters. I'm going to make it by 8 meters. I'll just continue round, and you'll see that a blue line appears when the line I'm about to draw is adjacent to an existing line, which is very intuitive feature that allows you to get your wall lengths right. I'll just zoom in here to show you guys what it looks like in the 3D view. Not bad. And again, we can change the visual style here just to make it shaded. It's more interesting. And you'll see if we select one of the walls in the properties, it'll tell us the unconnected height. And in this case, the base constraint, top constraint's at level 1, and the base constraint is should be level 0. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go in and model a few windows. So again, it's very similar to your walls, using the window tool in the architectural ribbon. So I'm just going to select that, and you'll see in your properties tab, if we select the drop down here, these are the different window types that we can select. Again, we can load different windows in. I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm just going to select the biggest window that's already there, and I'll stick this in 1400 away from the wall, and I'll deliberately make that one further away. So what we can do here is, and I'll just show you guys in the 3D view, if I select that window, change that to 1300, it'll move it. I think it was 1400 actually, so 1400. And it's really easy to move and adjust your windows. 1400, 1400, and again we can flip the windows depending where the cells are. So I'm going to just copy those because I'm probably going to have them on the other side of the house as well. So we can use these modify tools here. Some of them are very useful. We can align to things, quite similar to AutoCAD in a certain sense, but I'm going to use the mirror tool, and it allows me to specify a snap point. I'm going to go for this midpoint here. I'm just going to work off that. So now we've got our 4 windows. So I'm going to stick a door in here, but before I do that, I want to really make sure my building has a floor. So if I go in, select the floor tool in the architectural ribbon, I'm going to go in architectural floor, and what we can do is actually go by pick lines. So I'm just going to pick the lines that I want the floor boundary to be at, and I'm going to go OK, and make sure it's at the level. I want the floor to be at level 0, but in this case you might want to offset it potentially, so it's slightly above the ground level. So the next thing I want to do is stick my doors in. So I'm quite happy with how my floor is looking. It's not bad. So we'll go across, stick a door in. I've loaded a couple of doors in here. It's a bit scarce, so we'll go in and load a different door in, just to make things look a bit nicer. It should be in your UK Revit library, and then down in doors. And there's door ironwork, ironmongery, or there's external doors or internal doors. I'm just going to go for external in this case, and you'll see that we can go through them and see some of the different external doors that we've got. This one here is quite nice. I'm just going to go open. Okay, and if I select that and just stick it in there, There's our door. And if I hold down Shift and my scroll wheel, we can start to orbit about in the 3D view. Again, you can also use the view cube. So I'm just going to quickly put a roof on my house here. So if I click into level 0 here, it's probably not the best level to be working on when putting the roof in. So I'm going to go into level 1, which you'll see in the project browser. And you'll see that the outline, it's showing things in the level below, which are sort of half-tone, which is okay because we can still select them. So I'm going to go up to the roof tool here in the architectural ribbon, and it's in the build window. And you'll see the drop down, we've got different types of roofs that we can create and different tools. I'm just going to go for a basic roof by footprint. And I'm going to select the rectangle here because after all we're dealing with a rectangle. And a big thing here is the offset. This is going to affect how big the soffit of the roof is going to be, what sort of overhang we're looking for. I want quite a generous overhang, so I'm going to go for 500. And you'll see if I select this corner and drag, it automatically generates a 500 overhang around that. And I'm just going to go over and select Finish Edit Mode. That's the green tick. And there's our roof has been created. It's a bit ugly. It's this hipped roof. And I'm just going to change the roof type there as well. Change it to something a bit slimmer. Again, you can bring in custom roof families and create your own roofs depending on your build-ups, but we'll go into that at a later date. I'm going to edit that because I'm not happy with that roof. I just want it to be a simple pitched roof instead of a hipped roof. So I'm going to turn off the define slopes there, and I'm just going to go and Finish Edit Mode, tick that. And you'll see now that we've got a problem. None of our walls are actually touching the roof. So how do we get around this? Well, we can go in and left click on one of the walls, and they're all the same. And I'm just going to go right click and then select all instances in the entire project, and it selects all those walls. And you'll see this tool appears here in the Modify Walls tool. And we'll just go Attach Top/Base and then select the roof. And there we go. Our walls are now attached to the bottom, the underside of that roof. So what can we do here? Well, if we actually toggle the roof and change the pitch, the walls will automatically change with that. So a really powerful tool for visualizing your roofs.
I hope you found today's brief tutorial on Revit useful. But to learn more in depth and to receive an official Autodesk training certificate, then join us online or in person for one of our Revit training courses. As you can see on screen, we have a vast range of courses running here at Pentagon at the moment for all different disciplines and levels. You can choose between our 1-day or 3-day options, or even request a bespoke course based around your requirements. All courses are CPD accredited, so you can earn points as you learn. I'd just like to thank everyone for watching today, and just to keep up to date with our latest tutorials by clicking the link below.